Sometimes I forget what my channel is all about, and even though it's mostly about photography, it's also about life's journey, what I'm up to, some of the things I've got planned in the future, and just generally about fitness, health, life, etc, etc. And so I wanted to touch on a few things today, and some of the shorts I've done earlier will lead back to this video. So I watched something quite inspirational yesterday, which was the Steve Bartlett's podcast with the hardest geezer, Russ. And it's very interesting how sometimes in life you just have to do something, and you may not quite know why, when, what, or where, or even how to achieve it. And in this day and age, you can achieve more because of social media. Now, even though I'm a hater of social media to a certain extent, it's got some really good sides. You can achieve more, you can get more out there, you can show more. You can't change things. People at the moment are trying to change elections and trying to make everyone believe in one thing or the other, and so does media and social media. You know, at the moment during elections, and I will touch on it, I'm not political, but I will touch on it. At the moment, there's a vote, and the vote's for your mayor and your crime commissioner. That's the two things you're voting for. You're not voting for Labour or Conservative. You're voting for the best person for the job for your mayor and the best person for the job for the crime commissioner. That's everyone that's watching this in the UK. If you look at the media and social media, that's not what it's about. It's all about getting the Conservatives out and putting Labour in, etc. But that's not what you're voting for. So if you play that game and you fall for the media, you're voting for the wrong people to be in charge of your crime commissioner and your mayor in your city and your town or whatever. I mean, it's ridiculous. So you're being brainwashed. So that's the thing I hate about it. The good thing is, over the last year or so, and especially if anyone else has been watching, I've watched Russ Cook running across Africa, and I found it really, really inspirational. When I was younger, I played roller hockey for Kent in goal. I swam for Kent. Because I'm 5'10", my swimming would never progress. I trained every day. I was in the swimming pool every day. I swam all the time. I was in the water all the time. I missed out on swimming the bloody channel. My friend did it and I didn't do it. And he said I would have really loved it and we should have done it together. It's something I didn't do. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I was swimming so much at the time. We was swimming equivalent to that all the time in swimming pools when we were training. And I was really into my swimming. The only reason I actually stopped is because you cannot beat the 6 foot odd people that are swimmers. You know, some of my sort of heroes at the time then was Mark Spitz and Sharon Davis and everything else. These people were really, really tall and really, really long. At the end of the day, no matter how fast I could swim, I am never going to get through the water as fast as those. Duncan Goodhue's another one. And they would always touch before you. So when you actually got to the end of it, they're always an arm's length or a half a body length in front of you. So that sort of ended my swimming career. Then I went on to going in the gym, lifting weights, bodybuilding, etc. And then on to powerlifting, where I think I come first in the UK, a British bench, and then 7th in the world with I had a 250 bench, a 350 squat, 350 deadlift. And I was at 82.5 kilo class. And what stopped that? Car accident. Damaged my back. In that car accident, it gave me a lot of time to think. I had a damaged back, and it really, really, really did cause me a lot of problems. I couldn't lift properly anymore after that, and basically I stopped lifting, put on a load of weight, felt bad about myself. I wouldn't say overly depressed, but I just fed up because I just couldn't do my 7 days a week powerlifting training. Then after that, I had a motorcycle accident where I broke my back, broke my arm, broke my leg, which set me back again, gives you time to sit indoors and think. At that time I was in hospital and they said, you're never going to walk again. That gives you time to think and reset and think about your life and what you have and haven't done. Unfortunately, by then, my back was pretty much knackered. Through the powerlifting and everything else I had good muscle definition, but I had some real damaged back problems, etc, etc. So it takes a while to fight back from that. I haven't got runner's legs. I've got little tiny legs. I'm 5'10", but I've got quite short legs. Moving swiftly on. I have always wanted to do certain things in life, and now I've got the time. Now I'm retired. I've got all the time in the world to do all the things I want to do. The trouble is, at 60, my body's pretty much smashed up. I've done a load of things, and some of you know some of the things I've done in the past, and my body's been through the hell and back. I was even told years and years ago, you shouldn't really be doing this, that and the other. You should just go for a run and enjoy that, because otherwise later on in life you're going to have a lot of trouble walking, etc. I don't have trouble. I walk 5 to 6 miles a day. I've just done a long distance walk, which is 58 miles, and I want to do some more long distance stuff in the future. My only problem is the amount I can cover in a day. At the moment, I'm sitting about 95 kilos. So over the next couple of years, I want to do something about that. I want to reduce my weight from 95 kilos to 85 kilos. That's probably 2.5 kilos above my old lifting weight when I was 35. I know it's a lot more difficult when you're older, but I am going to give it a go. So that's one of my goals for the future, is to drop from 95 kilos to 85 kilos. I'm going to try and do that over the next 12 months, 12 to 18 months. I don't want to do it too quickly. That happened before. A little while ago, I was told to drop my weight down by a doctor. I dropped my weight down and ended up having to have my gallbladder taken out. But that's a story for another day. So, inspirational people like Russ Cook, etc., running across Africa. There's a lot I want to do. I want to do possibly I want to do Land's End to John O'Groats on a bike. Possibly I want to do the coast to coast, the Hadrian's Wall coast path. I'm aiming to try and do the cycle ones coast to coast, possibly next year or the year after. I sort of want to cycle there and back, which saves a lot of drama with transport. I also want to do that. I can't ride a normal push bike without a bit of e-assist, and that's because of my back. Once I start getting tired, I can't pedal properly. It causes back problems. So I'm going to use an e-bike. Obviously that has its problems as well, because then you've got to plug it in and charge it up every now and again. I'm lucky my e-bike can do 100 miles, but that's without full power. Just like Jane's one, we tend to ride them with the power off and only turn the power on when we need it, which is usually hard hills and that and the other. We both pull in a trailer when we do it. So I'll be taking Jake 2 trailers, our bikes and all our camping stuff and everything else, and the dog food. One of the biggest problems with all the stuff I want to do for the future, I've got a dog, I've got to take him with me. I enjoy taking him with me. He enjoys coming, but that's a lot of dog food to carry for 10, 14 days. So, you know, I have thought about doing it, going to shops, picking up food. If anyone's done this, by the way, if anyone's done bike trips with pets, etc., please drop me information below, because I'd love to know the good ways to do it. I know with walking you can use carriage services to carry your larger backpacks on to different hotels, this, that and the other. The trouble is that's restrictive then, because then you've got to get to that hotel that day, and if that day you've got to walk 20 miles, you've got to talk 20 miles. And sometimes with my back and everything else, some days I can walk 20, 25 miles, other days I want to walk 7 or 8. So that creates a bit of an issue. So this is the future. So yeah, I want to do the cycles. I want to do more long distance walk. I probably want to do the West Highland Way walking. Haven't worked out how to do that one yet. It's doable. It's easy enough. It's not that bad. There's loads of places to stop on the way. There's only a couple of long sections of it. The only problem is it's about the weight I can carry. I walk every day with a backpack, but I don't walk every day with a weighted backpack, and that plays problems with my lower back, which then causes sciatica, which then causes walking problems. And the more you do it, the more pain you're in, the less you want to do it. You have to work through that, mind you. So when I was younger, I wanted to do so much, and then it was like an accident, and this happened and that happened to stop me and restrict what I do. I remember when I was training fully, doing circuit training, I was in the gym 7 days a week and everything else. A lot of my friends went off and did I can't remember whether it was Superstars or whatever it was. And a lot of them come back and they said, well, you should have done that and you should have done that. And I never really sort of thought about it, was inspired to do it. With the bodybuilding and the powerlifting, you sort of look at all the people that inspire you around there and you want to do more, and then bang, it's all over, you know. It's like a really, really funny thing. I watched a friend of mine the other day in a gym, bench pressing after he hasn't benched for ages, and Nick McClellan and a couple of other people said to me, oh, you just want to go back in and try it. I think I would like to go back in a gym and start doing weights again. I don't really know. I don't know what stops me. I've got all the time in the world being retired, but I just don't know what stops me going back to the gym. Something's stopping me going back. I don't know what. Maybe it's just fear of the damage I did to my back becoming worse in some way or another. Even though I could just go and do bench press, etc., etc. It's moving the weights around in the gym. I don't want it to damage my discs any more than they are already damaged. So maybe that's what's holding me back. Apart from the other stuff, the walking and the cycling, I want to do more of that in the future, and I want to put that out there on these channels. And one of the good things is Russ Cook inspired me to do is to be able to use social media, to be able to take you on that journey as well with me, and I plan to do it out in the future. What I would like to know though is, what are the things that you would love to do? And I will tell you this, if you're young, and not many young people watch my channel, I know it's mostly older people, but if you're young, what is it you'd like to do? And then trust me, if you're thinking about it now, go and do it. Because when you get to 60, you'll look back and you won't be able to do those things. I am guilty of one thing. I spent the last 10 years thinking, when I retire, I'm going to do this. I didn't expect to have a stroke at 55 years old and then have brain damage and then have my body the way it is, to not be able to do and achieve all the things I want to do. But I will be able to achieve some of the things I want to do. When I had my stroke and I was told that it could get worse, I could have another one, I could die, I sat down and I thought, what do I want out of life if I survive this? And what am I going to miss if I die today? And when I went in for my operation to have my carotid endarterectomy, and I was going to told I could have another stroke, I could die, this, that and the other. You put all these things into place and you don't think about all the material things. You don't think about money. You don't think about all the things you own. You think about the people you're with at the moment. What will they feel about you not being there? And that's a lot of the things you think about. It's all a very personal thing. And then you think, have I done enough in life? Am I happy? And I sat there and I thought, at the end of the day, I've done an incredible amount of things in my life. I remember a friend saying to me, you've got to be 100 for all the things you've done. And then another friend said to him, but he has done those things. So at the end of the day, I've done a lot with my life up to 60 years old. And if I did die tomorrow, even though Jane and a few other people, especially my dog, would be very upset. If I did die tomorrow, I've done quite a lot. I've still got a few things to do. And sometimes you've got to look at life like that. I have got some regrets, and those regrets are, I wish I'd done more climbing and mountaineering. I wish I'd done my mountain leaders course. I wish I'd done Land's End to Dronogroats when I was younger, possibly even walked it or ran it. I wish I'd done a lot of the long distance stuff in the past. I wish I'd done more stuff abroad, running and walking and cycling. But it's not going to bother me. I just got a plan to do things that I can do now and not get knackered while I'm doing them. The 58-mile walk Jane and I did over 3 days was a bit much, to be honest with you, for me, because it was doing too many miles a day and it was pushing myself a little bit too far. And I want to be able to do things in the future where I take my time. And I'm going to take you on that journey on this YouTube channel and on Instagram and probably in my blog as well. Anyway, I want to know what inspires you, who inspires you, what you've got planned for the future and what you've got planned over the next couple of years. Please let me know below. If also you've done some long distance bike journeys on e-bikes, please let me know how you've done it and how you carry everything. And especially if you've done long distance walks, how do you move your stuff around from place to place? Do you use baggage services or do you use another method? I'd love to know all that information. So put all that information below. I don't expect this video is going to go very far or get many watches because the algorithms for it aren't going to work and no one's interested in my channel unless I'm talking about photography or a new camera. But let's see how this goes. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.